What is going on, Busy Bariatrics? I'm Rob, your favorite VSG man turned bariatric coach, and today I'm handing the mic to someone who's held down the community for years. If you've ever felt like quitting, like walking away quietly when your life broke you down, this one's for you, because today's guest, she's been through it and she's still in it and she still shows up. Mel Gottfried is a creator, an advocate, the host of our Sleeve Life podcast. She isn't just a voice in the bariatric space, she is the space for a lot of us. Me personally, her podcast got me through my early stages of bariatric surgery. And today, we're going to be talking about what it takes to keep showing up when the cameras are off, the support fades, and the hard stuff gets real. I've got a deep love for Mel. She's like the big sister I didn't know I needed. And this conversation is about resilience, reinvention, and keeping the mic hot even when your heart might be in pieces. If we get into something real quick, do me a favor. If this story from Mel really hits with you, can you do me a favor and just screenshot this episode, tag our Sleeve Life podcast, tag Mel, and tag me at My Weight is History, and let her feel the impact that she's made? Don't assume we know, because we really don't get as much feedback as you think you do. But anywho, that's my super long introduction for today. Mel, I get to talk to you, bud. How are you?
Good, I'm good. I'm excited that you have your own podcast now. Look at that.
I feel like I've been like the permanent house guest on so many other podcasts, and then I am like, hey, I finally have a place of my own. I would like to host you. So this is me like having you over for dinner, but you've actually had dinner at my house as well.
I have. Yes, guys. I've totally been in Rob's house. I've had dinner. I've hung out with the fam bam. I tasted the sauce. The sauce is great.
It's great.
Oh, it's gravy. I can never remember which one. Okay, so at Rob's house, it's gravy.
Yes.
At other people's house down south, I think it's sauce.
Outside of like the New York, Philadelphia region.
Okay.
Sauce, but even in that area, people call it sauce. But like gravy is kind of also gravy. You got to see like a whole bunch of Italianese when you were in Philly with me.
I did. So much Italian stuff, which I love. Because at that time, I thought I was Italian, so I was like super stoked. And then my brother did a 23andMe, and I am 0% Italian, by the way.
Wait, when were you going to tell me that?
Right now. Yep. Because I've been telling people my whole life that grandma's from Sicily. She came over on the boat. Yep, I'm half Italian. No.
So, kind of have to ask, like,
yeah,
how did you figure that out?
Well, so my brother did the 23andMe.
No, I get that part, but like, did grandma tell you she was Sicilian?
Yeah, they all fucking told us. Like, they legit said that grandma came over the boat, was in New York this whole time, like New York, New Jersey area, said that she was connected to like mob people, and that I am connected to a madam, actually, which makes sense because I would totally be a madam if I was back in the day.
What do you mean a madam?
Huh?
What do you mean a madam?
Like someone that ran the whorehouse back in the day?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
This is not where we thought we were going.
No, not at first. Because like it was kind of interesting. I just think they got it a little wrong because I'm 43% Irish. So I think
it was an Irish whorehouse.
Yes, I think it was Ireland, not Italy. Like, and it actually says Dublin I'm from. So I'm like, I think they twisted some shit.
But how did grandma not know where she was from?
Oh, I think she's just lying. Just lying. Oh yeah, grandma had a kid in secret. She's one of those.
Wow.
Yeah, she was sent to the camp for a while to have a baby, and then came back like she never had one.
That's like a thing from back then, which is kind of like my aunt had a daughter, and like we did not know she existed till I was 40. And then
I believe it, yeah.
But here's the weirder part with like Irish people, because I'm Irish, I can say this. Like my mom is just like matter of factly like, oh yeah, that's your cousin. And I'm like, you've never once mentioned I've had this cousin from Aunt Mary. And but like she looks at me like I'm the jerk for being like, you've never brought this up. And she's like, why do we have to tell you everything? And I'm like, it's my cousin. Like you're treating this like I should know her. Yeah. She hasn't existed for 40 years. And then she's just here at Christmas. And you're like, why are you not talking to your cousin? I'm like, I have no idea who this woman is. Context, people, give some freaking context. Like,
I love it. I would hang out with your mom. That would be hilarious. Oh
I
my
feel like
goodness.
you've gotten to see like so much of my family compared to anyone
Mhm.
else. Like you've seen Tony, my goons, and my friends, and all my fun stuff. But yeah, my mom is like very much like we had a funeral yesterday, and there's just random cousins here, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's like your person." And I was like, "Because I don't know how much I want to give on this one," but I was just like, "Are we sharing that?" And it's like, "Oh, that's your Uncle Tom's like third wife." And I was like, "Wait, no, Aunt Judy is the wife." I'm like, "No, that's technically his second wife." And I'm like, "Uncle Tom was married 3 times." Like, and they never.
Yeah. They don't talk about it. They just leave it in the dust. Legit. Because she had Uncle Billy Ray in Ohio and
Oh
went
my
back.
god!
Yeah.
And
I
then
was,
like just acted like nothing was wrong.
yep.
I
And
feel.
then her and grandpa still got married, but she was just underage. So they were like,
Oh my god, that's insane.
isn't
I
that
feel
crazy?
like if the lesson we can pull from this, and if anyone actually listens to this episode, you can do a lot of unhinged behavior, but if you just start acting matter of fact about it, it really does gaslight the other people in your life to be like, oh, then maybe I should just acknowledge like Rob's a jerk. Like we had a guest speaker. We had Corby from Barry Mail Experience.
Oh, yes, yes.
He was one of our summer camp speakers, and he's talking about like how people identify as an asshole. And I'm like, yeah, I identify as an asshole. And then I'm like, the more people just understand I'm an asshole, they really do tolerate my asshole behavior. But it's kind of
Because you're claiming to be an asshole when you're really not.
that's like the bit. You could probably in the bariatric community have a roundtable discussion without me of is he a jerk or isn't he a jerk? And you could full Bill Maher style it of that
Oh,
of
I would
like
love it.
people going back and forth of like, no, here's a great example of why Rob cares. And then you could have other people say, I love Rob, but here's a really jerky behavior that he did once. And I think that's like a fair way, instead of
is.
like a funeral speech, I almost want a Bill Maher roundtable
I
of
love
like,
it.
was this person actually a good human being? And I want a full debate of that. And that should
Yeah.
be the last podcast episode.
Well, everybody will make sure that we do that. It's been vlogged now, so that's what we're gonna do when we're like 70 or 80 years old, and
And
we'll
you'll
have a
still
little
be
thing for
going.
you.
That's the crazier part. I think I'm going to have an end date to the podcast. I think that'll be the final episode. It will be like I'll have you. I think Jason Smith. I could
Yes.
get a couple former clients. I think I could really make a roundtable of like, no, he might either be the best or worst thing ever to happen. And I think I could maybe get like people to argue this.
Oh my god, I would love to debate this.
This is
This would be actually really fun to debate.
But here's the problem. I don't know because you've seen like we've hung out enough times that you could probably go either way and be like, I have both. Like I'm a
Not
weird guy.
true. Not true. I think there's only one thing I could be like, well, and then that's it.
And exactly, but that's the point. Everyone has a well, it's like there. So all right.
I
So
love it.
in case anyone doesn't know you, I guess we should start opening the episode with something.
We should.
If people don't know who you are, they are living under a rock in the bariatric community, but tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Mel. I had VSG surgery 10 years ago. I cannot believe it. I hit my 10-year anniversary last month. And I've been helping the bariatric community since I was about 4 years out. I was legit like getting all my information from Kel. Like I was wondering, why do I not know this? Like she's brand new, just had surgery, and then like I'm asking all these questions, and then she's got all the answers, and I was like, I should have these answers. What the hell? Why do I not know this? So that was kind of the biggest deal, is I realized how alone I was, how I really was embarrassed to be a VSG patient. I really didn't like it. I was ashamed and I didn't want to tell people. And it was a whole thing for first few years of my life.
So wait, Kelly had surgery before you?
No, she had it after.
So
4 years after me.
got it. Oh, so Kelly was asking you the questions.
No, that's the deal, is that I was hanging out with her and I was asking her questions.
But why
And
would
she
you ask
had
her questions if she didn't have the surgery yet?
No, she had surgery. This is like, okay, hold on. I had surgery. 4 years later, Kelly had surgery.
Gotcha.
And then I'm hanging out with Kel, asking her questions about like her surgery and what she's going through. And then I was learning what the gas pains were. I was learning what full felt like. Like, I didn't know these random noises and stuff were totally normal. Like, there was so much I was learning. And then she showed me you guys. Like, she was already like dialed into Instagram, Facebook. I had no clue. Like, I just had my high school Facebook. Like, that's it. I had no clue that there was people out here.
So Kelly did like most of the legwork then to kind of figure out like what the Instagram community looked like.
She already knew. Yeah.
Oh my
She was
God.
already in it. She was already taking photos. She was already following people. Like, the first couple people she followed too was Michaela Pearson, Teresa Marie. I remember those two very, like, because she showed me them. And I remember being like, oh my God, like, there's people out here. Like, this is really cool. And she just started showing me people. And yeah, that was kind of like the start, because I went home and I searched online, was like, is there anything like out there for patients? And there was a bunch of doctor stuff, like, of course, like, and there was like a handful of people that have done a podcast, but it was like here and there, only 4 or 5 episodes at a time. And they were like big gaps in between. And so I was like, oh, there's a need. So I immediately went to Kel on the next time we hung out, because we hung out every Thursday. And we did our walk, and I brought it to her during a walk. I was like, hey, well, I got to back up a little bit. I already actually did some footwork. I already got us a producer. I already had mics. Like, I already like made sure I had everything before I pitched it to Cal.
Oh my God. Did you really?
Yeah, I totally did. Yeah. That's kind of my style, is like have everything ready to go.
Oh my God. And then like, what if Kelly said no? Would
If
you have
she's-
just done it?
I would have just done it. Yeah.
You would have just done it. Okay.
Yeah,
then-
it was already inside me. Like, I knew I wanted to do it. So I was like, I'm doing it with someone or not, but I would love to have a partner in crime.
What got you to like really want to like do that though? Like, what was there like you just saw there was this gap of podcasts and you were like, someone needs to talk this out? Like, walk me through that.
Yeah, like, it was a couple different reasons. So I actually have always loved podcasting. Once I first started watching and listening to podcasts, was probably literally, that's what helped my journey. So I'm going to give some credit to this, is that 10 years ago, I was listening to Joe Rogan. I was listening to Dr. Ronna Patrick, and I was listening to, of course, Bill Burr. He's my guy. So
Love Bill Burr.
I love me those. So those three I was listening to a lot. And Dr. Ronna Patrick was actually on Joe Rogan so many times. And you have to listen to her stuff like multiple times, because like there's so much knowledge in it. It's insane. But it was like perfect timing. I was going through a bunch of changes because I had surgery. And I'm listening to these people that are love fitness, that like will help you in any way, will tell you little tips and tricks. So I was like a sponge eating it up. And I was like, I would love to, because Joe Rogan always says, if you ever think about doing a podcast, do it. Don't wait. And he's been saying that for over a decade. So when it hit like the 2020 time, I was like, he's not wrong. I should probably do this, because I've been thinking about it forever. And I did a little tester with Eric, my ex-husband, and his friends. We did actually, people don't know this, it's called But What Do We Know? There was actually a pre-podcast before OSLP.
Does it exist? Can we find these episodes? Am I going on and watching this?
I think you couldn't watch it. I know there's audio. There might be like an episode or two out there. I'll have to actually look, because I don't know if Larry ever posted them. That was kind of the problem, is that we would do the podcast and it was all about pop culture, what's going on in the world, music, media, politics, all of it. It was so much fun, but the guys don't work. They never did anything with it. It was more like a hobby for them. They were just like, oh yeah, let's just have some drinks and like line up the mics. That's how they approached it. And I was like, I got the email ready. I got the Instagram ready. Like, I was ready to go, but no one else was. So that kind of died down. And I found when we and Kel started talking a lot about bariatrics, I was like, this is it. This is where it's at. I did the research. There's no patients by like 4 patients by patients. And that was it. I was like, I got to do it. Like, it's just calling to me.
I think a lot of people think it's so much easier to do any aspect of social media than what goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm always like, well, you should really do this to get an idea of like, you have to line up guests, you have to set dates. Walk us through, like, what does it take to actually produce a podcast for like 4 years, 5 years now? Like, even
Yeah, we just hit 5. April 7th was the 5-year mark of when the first episode dropped. So that's
wait,
really cool.
What was the first episode date?
April 7th of 2020.
I never comprehend how early that podcast started because I remember listening to it right after surgery, and you two both sounded like you had been doing it for years. That's impressive. Like,
I love it.
I always get weirded out because like you'd have like your anniversary episode where you're like, yeah, this is like year 4 of it. I'm like, wait a second, the math means I started listening at the very beginning, which is kind of insane.
It's amazing because when was your surgery date?
June 2020.
So
You were 3 months in and I started listening, and back in the olden days of the pandemic, like you couldn't really see people or talk to people, so it's like I would literally just go on walks every morning before people went out, and I would listen to you guys, and I was like, I wonder if anyone else listens to this, and I would tag the episodes, and then I messaged you and Kelly. I was like, hey, I hope this isn't weird or creepy because I am a dude on the internet, but I was kind of like, maybe someone else needs to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I still say to everyone, like, share these episodes. Like, maybe they help, or, maybe you at least get to find out that, like, we have random relatives that show up. It kind of works either way.
100%. And that's what's great is like, yes, share, because you don't know who's going to need it. And I remember that message. I haven't told a bunch of people about your message, but it was really funny because I was at first like, this guy's liking out all of our things. Okay. He tagged us. Interesting. Then I go search your Instagram to figure out who you are. But by the way, I do some recon and I stalk. You have to. So especially with dudes, like you just don't know their intentions, because I've gotten the gambit with that. Definitely had some unsolicited pictures have come through. So I definitely check on everything. And I went through your stuff and I was like, oh, he's one of us. Like
one of
totally,
us.
He's like it's not a creeper. He's legit just like had surgery and he likes what we're saying. I was like, holy shit, this is actually working.
I was so self-conscious, and I still am, because like as a coach, we are like supposed to DM and engage with people to see how they're doing. I always find it like odd because as a male coach in a primarily female field, and bariatric surgery, the numbers do show there's more women just by the sheer number. Like I never want to give that vibe of like, hey, it's like I want to be very intentional of like, look, I think your message is really good. Like this is a professional, I'm doing it. But then I remember like my old Instagram page, and it's still the same one, because I'm at the 5 year. I hit my 5-year mark as of this recording.
Yeah.
I went back to the beginning and I was like, I was such a weird account because I didn't put my face on a lot of stuff. It's pictures of like, so you were getting pictures of me cooking, random like weigh-ins of like my scale progress tracker, but no me. And I realize now, like, oh yeah, I definitely looked like weird.
I mean, at first, I'm not gonna lie, Kel was like, I don't know.
It's in hindsight though, when I look back, I'm like, it was an odd account. And even today, there will be people who are private accounts who will message me, and if they don't have the picture on the face or anything, I'm kind of like, what is this, dude? Like, or why is this? And then like, I'm like, okay, I get it more. Like,
well, and it's people that are listening, if you don't have a face, like you have to have some sort of picture or emblem. If you don't, I just block you, by the way. I go through my stories and see who's watching my stories. Like I'm psycho. So like,
I don't think that's psycho.
Right? Like I need to know like what's going on, who am I affecting? And like, if they don't have pictures, I look at them and then I'm like, nope, block.
I kind of like an idea of like who's peeping in on me as well, of like where the content is resonating, but also then it's like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I see that.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. Some people you're like, that's really cool. I didn't know that you're watching. Or others are like, you're watching.
I think that was the weirdest part, because I didn't really know Instagram stories did that. I thought that was just like you watched it and like, I didn't really care, because even in the early days, a lot of it was more of me like journaling and reflecting in my page. So like when I would get on and like make a profit or mix my pre-workout or just talk, it was really me just here's the actionable things I'm looking at. And then I'd see like I have like 150 people on there, which for me is a teeny tiny account. I'd be like, oh wow, that's kind of impressive.
That is, yeah.
But then it's like, oh, maybe this does matter. So it's weird.
Your account is interesting. Your account is very engaging because I saw it with the last with the three JVYs in, but the first two JVYs, you took the gold, like I mean, I can see them behind you. There's three of them. Yep. And you took those awards. And what was interesting is that you had smaller accounts than everyone on, significantly smaller than those that are in that category with you. And we saw right away when I remember you being nervous coming to the first one. And in my head, I was like, don't be, because I saw in the background all these people that voted for you. And I was like, holy shit, he has less than all these people, but your people are loyal, they're engaged, they're following, they're listening. Like it's a whole different ballgame. So
it's weird like that because I think especially when we're early on, we chase like, oh, we need to have like 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers. And even in the coaching space, it is very weird because I'm actually in coaching circles and I'll be in a room and it's the same thing as JBY. Like I was sitting at a table, I can't say where yet.
Ooh.
But yeah, but this was like 250,000 account, 1.5 million account, 40,000 account, 50,000 account, me.
Yep. What are you at now? 7, 8?
What's up?
What are you at now?
I'm still under 8.
Yeah.
Still under 8.
Yep.
And like it's weird. I strategically grow. Like I'll sometimes put out weird content of like me just ranting about like, here's what everyone is doing wrong and what you need to do to fix it. And that seems to be where people find me. That's my vibe. But like I'm in this room now. And it was like JBY all over again because we're kind of like, okay, introduce yourself, talk about your client brand. And I'm mentioning like how many clients I have and how I do everything. And they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, and then like we're going over everyone's numbers and they're like, wait, what? And it's like, I think people don't comprehend like that following is really a weird number.
It is.
That we don't really get. So.
And I'm always curious who is buying followers and who is not buying followers.
I didn't even know that was a thing for the first 2 years.
Yeah, like I didn't until I got those messages like, hey, do you want to boost your blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, no, fucking weirdo. And now I'm curious because some of those, you look at their views on their actual like reels and their TikTok, and it's like a crazy difference, you know, like the Tanyas and the Teresas and Profi Queen of the world, like that, those are actually like real fucking people. Yeah. And because you can tell, but like some of them you're like, did you buy these? I don't know, because it's quality over quantity is really the deal. That's like the hugest thing.
It really is like the craziest thing. Here's a fun story. I bought followers very early on. And
Did you really?
This is great. And I'm so glad it went horribly. Because like I was such a rube. I was like at 200 followers and I'm seeing all these accounts and like I get the DM and it was like, hey, if you PayPal me like $20, I can get you 200 followers. And thank God, because like I paid the $20 and got like 5. And well, this is bull. And it was like the best thing ever because then I never tried it again because I was like, that does not work. So I bought 5 followers, which is embarrassingly bad. Like the only thing worse than buying 50,000 followers is paying and getting like 5. Like that's really bad.
Getting like 1% of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I've always been scared of those because I'm just like, are they going to steal my money? Like what are these real? And I saw that people that have done it, I've called someone out on it once, just because that's me. And I can tell though, like that's the deal is like you can go through them and you're just like, they literally, one of them said fake account. Like it was kind of comical. So I was just like, wow, like you could tell this person was like, I need followers. And then then Mel goes, what are you doing? Sorry, guys. I do call out people sometimes because I'm just like, stop it. What are you doing?
But that's why I've always loved you. Is there's been times where I've done some dumb stuff, and you've always called me out as well. Of hey, check yourself, and it's never come as a way of like I hate you. It's more of like a big sister love.
Yeah.
Hey, like you're better than this, and I've changed a lot of my behavior when it comes to how I show up in the community as well as what I do because you've done that. Why do you think that's so important that there are people in our community who've been here long enough to help people that way? Because that's, I think, a lot like a very rare talent and something that's needed in our space.
Thank you. Because I was raised to see the good in people. And that was even with all the chaos of my family. Like, if you know me, I come from hillbillies. I come from motorcycle gangs. Like, my dad knew the Hells Angels and the Gypsy Jokers. Like,
Yes.
I come from that background. But the rules were always like, see the good, because tattoos don't mean shit. Hair dye don't mean nothing. Get to know the real person. And so once I see you for you, and I see you doing something that's like not even close to who you really are inside, I'm like, I'll question you, because it's for me, I'm just confused, and I'm like, wait a minute. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Because it's like, that's out of character for me to see. And I also see people's potential. So I'm like, I don't want you to get in trouble. Like, I've always been that kid that did never want to get in trouble. I was always scared to get in trouble. I was that kid that got straight A's. I was very like into school and rule following for a very long time. It's kind of interesting now because I'm very opposite. Like, I'm not a rule follower as much. I kind of say like, I do what I want and you tell me if it's like not okay. It's kind of how I roll. But no, it's always been, I love training and learning and teaching people. And when I see people kind of go off course, I'm like, no, let's get back. Let's get back on course. Because I start thinking of all the different ways you're going to get like looked at. I don't know why I've had that in me for a long time, but it's been like, hey, think about all these other different aspects, because you're not the only view. And that, I think that also comes from, I've been a manager at every position I've ever been in. Arby's, I was the shift leader. That was my first job, right? So my second one was Wells Fargo. I become a senior manager. Not Wells Fargo, Progressive, same thing. I start talking to attorneys. Like, it's just a thing where I like people. I like I like brains and understanding it. And I like changing what I need to do so you can be better, because I love seeing people like do good. That's the biggest thing. I just like people that actually are using their skills, because I've seen too many people waste it. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, I've seen some really smart and really talented people just waste their fucking life away. Like, it's wild. I hate seeing it, because you're like, no, you're so close. Stop.
And I can't stress enough to so many in the community and everyone else, like you and Kelly were those people for me. And when there were times that I did not see things in myself, even before JBY, you were like, you should probably come out, because I wasn't going to go to the first year.
No, you were.
I couldn't really afford it. And you walked a beautiful line of like, you should probably come. And you in hindsight now, you kind of had to have known when you were saying that.
I did, yeah.
That you had the results. You're like, look, you should probably buy a ticket. This might be a good chance to meet everyone. Worst case scenario, you never have to go. And I think of the what if of if you didn't message me and be like, you should come. And then I also remember, you probably don't remember this, but you had to have been out the night before in Portland, and you like double check texted me, because it was like 2:00 in the morning, which would have been 11:00 the night. And you're like, are you still coming?
Yes, I remember that.
Because I couldn't afford to do any later. Like, so it was like I was taking a red eye Thursday. So I had to be, or not whatever the 5 a.m. flight is, but I had to be up at like 2, because, dad energy. The airport's abandoned, but I still have to be there 3 hours early to sit in front of nothing.
Hey, psycho. Yep.
Yeah, but we've understood this. Like, let's go back to the beginning. Unhinged behavior, if you acknowledge you do unhinged things, can actually be acceptable, because it's like, look, I'm not saying I'm not insane. It's a stupid level of airport line that I think I need to stand in. But anywho, like, you were like, are you still coming? And I still remember being like, wow, like Mel's making sure, like, you made sure I was okay there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yes, I am coming. And I was scared that entire weekend.
Oh.
Like, I spent the entire weekend thinking, like, I knew the other Rob motivation. But he had like the big following, he had a cool crew and everything that he was doing. So it was like I was kind of just living up Jason Smith, the Smithsonian's rear the entire time. Like Connie Stapleton,
Great one to hang out with. So
great
that's
one to hang,
perfect.
good
He's the
anytime you go.
yeah. Oh yeah.
But I always joke, like Connie Stapleton, like I'm in a room, like Kelly and Mel created a room that looked like the Avengers that first year, like of the bariatric community. Like it was literally everyone is in this room.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's me in the corner, like I'm going to keep drinking free water because I don't know how to socially interact. And like Connie Stapleton walks by, who wrote the book Weight Loss Surgery Does Not Cure Your Addiction to Food. It's on my back shelf. I've read it. It's a dog-eared copy of it.
Yes.
And like I go to say hi to her, and she's talking with like Laura Gerbeau, another therapist who I've listened and done everything. And I like walk up, and she turns around, and I ran away because like I caught her too weird. Like I'm in an elevator with Eric Smith from 600-Pound Sisters, and he's talking to me about like, oh, Xavier, that's near Cincinnati where I'm around. I'm like, it's an X-Men sweatshirt. I'm a big dork. And I'm like, where am I like right now? And
Yeah.
you have always been able to bring people together, but also find the best parts of everyone and let that shine. And I'm just so proud of that, and that's why I'm happy to have you here.
Well, that was like that's the goal, so I'm glad that it's coming through. Like because me and Kel have been throwing parties our whole like life basically. Like I legit have always been the one that like bounced with all the different types of groups. Like I was friends with the goths, I was friends with the preppy people. I would hung out. I went to football games all the time. I knew the cheerleaders, I knew the football guys. Like, and that was kind of how I've always been. I don't know why I've always loved people. Me and Kel likes to party, so it was always perfect where I'm like, she'll come up with a theme and then I bring everybody in because Kelly's memory has always been bad. She'll like, I remember back in the day, she'd be like, do we know her? Do we like her? And I was like, yes, this is her name. Like I would give her the whole thing and everything. And she's like, all right, cool. Yes, I remember her now. Like that was always the thing. It was so fun. But yeah, I've always just brought the good. I think that's what it is. I bring the good people from all the different groups and then slam them together.
It's always the craziest room when we're in there. And I always just look around and I'm like, holy smokes, like what the hell am I doing in this room? And I'm always happy that I'm in there. But
me too.
Yeah, well, thank you.
I'm glad you were. And I'm glad that like it resonated. Like, yeah, I was checking on you. I was like, where is Dad from? Because I couldn't remember what flight you're on. And we were it was Thursday night. And so I was like, oh shit, is he in yet? Is he not in yet? Because I knew you were nervous. So I was like, just get him to me and Kel and we're fine. Just get him to us.
Just ship him in and he will be good.
Yep. Yep.
And yeah, it's just amazing. But let's talk about JBY for a minute. Because we always joke, whether we're in person or we talk, at some point in our conversation, we say everybody should host an event before talking about event.
Yes, yes.
How long does it take to really like create an event like JBY?
A year and a half.
Walk us through like, okay, you and Kelly have this idea. Like, walk us through.
Okay, so that's why we can't do it every year because it does take about a year and a half to completely do the whole thing. So first off, we have to make sure we have help. Like now we know from the very first couple of like what to do. So now I'm like, we got to have volunteers. So that's added time on because I have to solicit volunteers, then go through all the volunteers. Then we have to make the list of like, okay, who are we going to use and who we're going to use where. And that takes like a good couple weeks to a month to really get it the way that you want. Like, yes, I could do it in 2 days, but it also probably wouldn't look the same, because it'd feel
100%.
more rushed. So we go through it thoroughly and I group them like, oh, front of the house, back of the house. We got engineers here. We got photographers, videographers. We had someone that could do hair, makeup. Like it's really cool to see all the talents that come through Bariatrics. Like you guys are very talented and you guys hide who you really are behind being a bariatric patient. It's very interesting because with the volunteer work, I got to see it.
Here's my hot take. I think bariatric surgery is the least interesting part of any bariatric journey.
Me too.
I really do believe like we've all kind of had that shared experience, But like, that's almost the boringest part. Like, it's when you realize these people have lives outside of it and what they bring to the table and all these experiences
It's
really shows.
insane. Yeah, it's incredible. Like, you guys have degrees, you guys are doctors, like, you guys are therapists, you guys are health, like sports medicine. Like, I never in the thought in a million years I would be in a room with these kind of people, to be honest with you. I was like, holy crap, this is insane. So that's a full,
So you got
like,
all the
so
volunteers. Yeah.
yeah, so it goes 30 days for the listing, 30 days to get them all checked in. So that's 2 months right there. In the background, I'm like soliciting sponsors. I'm talking to old sponsors. I'm giving them the data and everything from the last one. Like, yes, they get that right after, but also like I need to show them like, hey,
This is
we
work.
actually did really well. Like these numbers are great.
I
So
think people also don't understand that part of the business is like, at the end of the day, if you're listening to this, you need to understand these are businesses and sponsors are businesses. JBY is a business. Busy Bariatrics is a business. Do we
yeah,
love what we do? 1000%. But at the end of the day, 3 words I think everyone needs to remember: things cost money.
yes, nothing's free, guys.
Nobody comprehends that of
No.
whether you sell a ticket or not, you're still on the hook for the venue. Your sponsors don't necessarily hand money over year if they don't get something out of it. Like, I'm very happy with the sponsors I work with, but they make it very clear you get this because of this. And I make it very clear to them, I do this because I bring you this.
Yes, yes. And you got to show them that. They forget. And that's okay.
I think no one, and I think for the average consumer, they don't understand that. When I think everyone should own a business. I really do, because there's times when any event, people are like, we paid all this for this ticket. And I'm like, guys, you do not comprehend how much is offset with it, whether it be coaching, an in-person event, a virtual event of like, look, no one's making millions
No,
off of
by
that.
any means. By any means. Which is funny because we've had people think that me and Kelly do, and that was laughable. Just because they were like, well, ProCare sends you places. Yeah, but
For what?
that's for work. And also, like, they send us. That they're not paying us a salary to be there. They send us. Like, you forget, like, I'm working. Only thing that's different is that I don't have to pay to get there or stay there. I still have to pay for all my food. That was so like that was kind of the thing is like, no, we're not making hand over fist. I would love to be able to make that, but it's not happening right now. I do believe the next few years it's gonna start happening because I feel I can see it just in downloads and my reach is like starting to really like take off right now. And I'm very, very happy and proud of it and very excited about you guys because the more you guys watch, the more I can do
Exactly.
is basically what it is. So, but yeah, so the event for JBY. So now I'm looking for sponsors and your girl, I get wild about it. I even think about like dude wipes, liquid IV, liquid death. Like I'm trying to get people there that like you guys would use. And it doesn't always have to be bariatric. That's the deal is like I'm now going outside of just bariatrics because there's things that we use all the time that we don't think about. So LinkedIn is a very important spot for a business owner. I'm learning. I need to update all of my LinkedIn information, whether that's I have one that's my personal. I have one for OSLP. I have one for JBY. Thank God for Sarah for that. Sarah was the brainchild that knew all the business people hang out over here. So this is where you need to go. And I was like, oh, didn't even think of that. So like, that's a whole deal in itself. Like that's a whole job that I do by myself is searching, looking, and sending out emails, making phone calls. Like if they don't call back within a couple of weeks, then Mel's calling. Like I am not like there's no shame here when I want money for something that I love to do.
People have to understand that, though. You have to be shameless. I don't
You do.
think people comprehend. If you want to survive, you kind of have to be willing to make the ask. You kind of have to be very direct, and you have to make sure that everything still cannot line up. Like, you can still be direct, have the ask, have the perfect sponsor in front of you, but it might just be like the wrong time for them when you need it to work. And that's not a reflection of either side, but it also doesn't pay the bill until it's ready to go.
Yeah, because we've had some commitments and then they fall through because like by the 3 month, because there's like a limit. I typically accept money all the way up, but you're not going to get the benefit if you like start a month or two prior to JVY.
Nor should you.
Like you're not going to get your full benefit because you're missing like all those ads, all of us tagging, all of the shares. Like there's so much marketing that goes into one OSLP, let alone JVY, to make sure people can find it and see it. Like it's insane that I still have people that are like, I didn't know about JVY. I'm coming next one. And it's like, fuck yeah, number 4 you're going to be at. Like, that's why I don't stop, because you don't know who's you're going to actually get through the years. But yeah, you have to do that. Then you have to do venue checks. And depending on where we're going, like we might be looking at 2 different states, you know, and we're looking at pricing, because pricing's huge. I would like to save money on venue if we can. I'm learning East Coast. For some reason, y'all are way more expensive than West Coast.
Oh, we 100% are.
It's insane.
1,000% are.
Yeah, because the Aladdin Theater for year 1 was $8,000. Now you go to instantly you go to DC.
But first off, guys, that's $8,000. And that's like, even if nobody shows, you gotta
have to pay that. Yeah, I have to pay that $8,000 no matter what. So now we go to DC, it's like $18,000.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we go to St. Louis and it drops a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
with everything like that me and Kel wanted, it landed about like $16,000. So it's still cheaper than DC, but double what Oregon was.
16,000 people. Like, that's a down payment on a house in most of the country.
100%. And that's typically why we have like a couple big sponsors like ProCare and SABP, because guys, again, the live stream first year was $23,000. Think about that. I needed to get $23,000 for the live on year 2. Now year 3, thank God, I fucking love them, and I'm going to bring them back for year 4. It's Blue Spark. They were so much better, 10 times better, and they were less. They were actually 15.
Oh, wow.
So I went from 23,000. So my brain instantly was like, I need at least around 20. That's what my brain was like. And then I was like, oh, you're actually going to be a little bit cheaper, and you did better. So like, this is great. But still, now I have 16,000 for the live. And then I also ended up having around 16,000 for the venue. So right there is 32,000.
That's ridiculous.
Right? Just for those 2 things. That's not including like...
That doesn't even buy anyone a drink. Or yourself a drink.
Nope. Not at all. That's not food. That's not drink. That's not DJ. That's not getting us there. Like, that's nothing. So that's why we have to have those 2 big sponsors, because it's a lot of money. Like, typically what I need is around 70 to 80,000, depending on the state that we go to.
Yeah. And
that's pull this off.
That's a lot of vitamins that got to be promoted for that.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why it takes so long, because I have to convince and schmooze and get this money in pocket. Like, the last year was the first year I actually made money on the ticket sales. Like, everything was paid, because the year 2 was not like that. I was pretty in debt year 2. Year 2, I was like 10 grand debt on myself. So just know that like I have done that for the first year. I was 3 grand in debt. Second year, I was 10 grand in debt. Like, these are on credit cards. Like, because I'm like, this is how nuts I am. Like, I promised it. It's going to be here. This is just what we do. I will figure it out. Like, I'm not going to tell people. Like, DC was in November, and Sarah wanted me to move it. She's like, I don't think we're going to get enough money in sponsorship. I'm like, I'm not moving it, Sarah. And she's like, what? I go, I'm not moving it. I go, we're just going to have to work harder. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And we made it work, but the live stream became more and the venue came a little bit more. And so, yeah, you just take those hits.
I think people have to understand that, like, most people would see one of those events. Like, losing 3 grand to host an event would absolutely be where you'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. And the fact that you continue to keep going and building and getting it better and getting it right, I think is a message everyone in the bariatric community has to understand. Is like, this is selfless work that we all do. But more importantly, that like you have to keep going.
You have to. You cannot stop. That is the one thing I've learned just from being in like college, just being in high school. don't ever fucking stop. Like, that's the deal. Is like anything can happen with time. And I don't know if I know you know who this is, but Louis C.K.
Yeah.
I know he's
Most people know who he is.
yeah, right? You know Louis. He's been in the news off and on, but I still love him. Not caring. You can
Goes
DM
back
me.
to seeing the good in people.
Exactly. So he said in one of his stand-ups, he goes, guys, you know, if you just go long enough, you'll be a lawyer. If you go long enough, you can be a doctor. You can be a therapist. These things are just schooling. So once you just never give up on these things, you'll just become that. So I kind of like thought about that. I was like, he's not wrong.
No.
Like, it just takes time. And if I consistently keep doing something, eventually it's going to take. And that's how it's kind of interesting. I've used that in all of my jobs. It's kind of like, yeah, you just keep going, keep moving. I got to make more. I got to do more. I'm also a survivalist kind of because I've been the breadwinner my whole life for my family. So I've always had to hustle and do the grind, and I like it. I think it's better. I think it's more fun. I get to learn all the nooks and crannies of everything. And now I know exactly how much money I need. I know exactly what people I need to talk to and how sooner I need to talk to them. Because guys, you need to get these people when they're looking at their budgets, and which is typically at the end of the year or the beginning of the year. So these are time frames you want to look because they're looking at things to spend on.
It's
and
funny because
you could be that one that they're spending it on.
It's amazing because I always forget that until either my contracts come up, other people's contracts come up. And it works in every aspect of like, oh, people have to evaluate, like, is this still worth it for both parties? And is this worth it? And I think a lot of the times as creators, we have to ask ourselves that question. Is it still worth it? As we get to like, because we're getting close to, you're obviously going to have to come on like multiple times later. One big question I do want to ask before we start to wrap up is it still
We're going to start wrapping up?
We're at 48 minutes.
That's okay.
I blamed. We could do a 5-hour episode. I'd be fine with that too. But like,
if we go over, I mean, we're going to go over, but not all the way. I'll definitely do a second.
But here's what I'll say, Mel. Like you're a data person, like I'm a data person. And I already know from my podcast at around the 48-minute mark is where people tend to just drop off. Like they say the average listen time for my hour-long episodes is about 42 minutes. So then
really good.
So here's my question as a podcaster too, and then I'll get back to the big question. So like I'll go to the Chuck Klosterman deep dive of like research where it's like, okay, well, then by logic, we should make the episode 48 minutes if they only listen to 48 minutes. But then here comes the problem. If I make the episode 48 minutes long, does that mean that people will stop listening at like the 2/3 point? Because here's what I know as a teacher. When I teach a 90-minute period, the kids still pack up at about the 5-minute mark. But if I do a 30-minute class, they pack up at the 5-minute mark, which shows it's kind of the same. But with this, it seems like if we made the episode small enough, people would still only listen to 2/3 of it. So do we eventually get to a world where a podcast is only 4 minutes long of an interview? Or do we go the exact opposite thing of, well, if we wanted people to consume all of our content, do we make a never-ending podcast stream? Like, is there a 72-hour podcast where you're just bringing in a cavalcade of people and you just see how long you could go because people would have to continuously listen to the episode?
Well, I just got a thought. I was like, we should do a marathon. We should do a 24-hour podcasting marathon, like raise money for a charity or something. I don't know.
That's what I was going to say. We should almost like how they would do those horrible songs in the 80s where they bring all the celebrities in. And it's like, we're going to sing so people can like read Across America or Farm Aid. Like, we could probably do for like obesity where we just podcast for like 3 days straight.
Mm-hmm.
God, we should probably put this down to paper before the episode's over. If anyone does this, by the way, we're going to go to this timestamp.
Yeah, I'm going to write it down because this is what I do. So I don't know about you guys, but I text myself. People think I'm goofy about it, but I totally do. Marathon with podcasting / charity.
Now, here's the worst part. If I don't get invited to Mel's podcasting marathon, then I know that, like, not only did I screw this recording up, but I screwed it up so badly with our relationship that like she had to marathon record for like 72 hours and we couldn't even fill the 4 a.m. time spot with Rob. Like that's how you will know, like, did I get a Monday at 3 p.m. or did I get a Monday at 3 a.m. when this thing happened?
Yes. We're gonna find out. We're gonna do it. I love it.
This is actually because you're gonna need a lot of people for that.
Yeah. I'm gonna need patients. I'm gonna need doctors. I'm gonna need you. Like, I need my talkers. Aaron can talk. We did an hour 45. So that's, yeah.
But
yeah.
here's the thing. I stopped at about the 48-minute mark.
Did you?
I'm the murderer of my own beliefs.
You only made it halfway through. You're missing so much information on the other end.
Yeah, but look at how like mind blown I was on the first 48 minutes.
I
like,
know you were.
It's like I've been in coaching groups where people are like, have you gotten to this part? I'm like, no, I'm still feasting in the appetizer part of the work and I'm getting great results off it. I don't even have to go to the next room.
Well, that's really convenient, ma'am. Not ma'am, sir.
Ma'amed me?
I ma'amed you.
I gotta tell you, almost nobody but you and there's like 2 other people who serve.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of funny because I get questions about it. I had Luis from the community. I call him sir. There's only certain people I call sir, too, because he questioned me. He goes, I want to feel special, but I'm not quite sure. Do you only call me sir or certain people sir? And I go, unfortunately, you're not the only one. But it is a sign of respect. I only call certain people sir.
So I get a sir out of respect.
You do. Yep.
See, but I feel like a ma'am is almost derogatory to you. Like a ma'am.
Not for me. I'm cool with it. I like it. Yeah.
You're cool with a ma'am? Interesting.
I've earned a ma'am. I think a ma'am is like, that means I'm adult and I'm like a woman and I know what I'm doing.
See, I take it the other way of a ma'am is like you are old. Like you,
old.
Like there's an age part of it. Like maybe that just says more about me. If like I see the sir as like I'm viewed as elder.
I think that's also like your guys' generation. Like, you know, we're the same generation, but our parents' generation. I know. Just our parents, though.
If you're watching this on YouTube, Mel looks like this. I look like this, and I believe I'm only 1 year older.
I think you're only 1 year. I'm 38 right now.
Oh no, I'm 41.
Oh, you're 41. Okay, yeah. So you are 3 years older.
But we would like. Here's the fun part: if you're still watching this, which all the data shows we're not, we're in dead space right now, which is kind of cool. I almost want to like start a mini true crime part in the smaller space.
Well, that would be hilarious.
But no, it'd be an actual murder. Like, and it's like this is like I've committed to murdering like all these. See, this is why like people shouldn't listen to me. Like, this is like what if someone embedded a whole podcast? But like, there's these murder parts in the part of the dead space nobody listens to.
I think it'd be like little Easter eggs for people.
Exactly.
Like find.
Like in the 72-hour marathon podcast, at what point do you just say like, yeah, I killed a drifter in like 2008, and like but like it's a weird world.
You're like, did you find that? Yep.
Yeah, but like this is the fun part of going down that hole. So I don't even remember why we started. Oh, we would have been in high school together.
We would have been.
You would have been a freshman when I would have been a senior.
Yep. That's actually how me and my brother are. But I literally was in his Spanish class.
Well, there was a 4-year difference and you both had the same Spanish class?
Yeah, he decided to wait a long time for that.
Because there's also that weirdness of like, were you that much smarter and he was significantly lower?
A little bit. I was in all honors classes, but yeah, like I already did Spanish in middle school, so I was like, I'll just take it, like the rest of it, to get my credits, because I actually graduated with more credits than I needed to graduate with.
That is phenomenal.
Well, thank you. I will tell you, it's because I hated home life, so I was like all in to school. Like that's what it was. I turned all the chaos that was happening at home, the screaming, the yelling, the throwing of things, the chasing of things, to I can control my work, and that was it.
I did not leave college between my sophomore and junior year because I just didn't want to go home. There was just some stuff there that I was like, I'm okay living on an abandoned campus, giving tours in the summertime in North Philly. And that was better. Yeah, like LaSalle's in North Philly. So it's like, yeah, I think I'd rather like live by myself in North Philly for like summer than go home because of some stuff there. And not in my own home, just like with friends and whatnot, where I was like, I don't want to be in this scene for
No, I think that's smart. I think that's also one of our talents is being able to see that and remove ourselves.
Really is.
Because that's a hard thing for people to do. They want to be, they get FOMO or whatever. And then me and you're like, no,
Nope.
get us away from it.
It's
No
why you
way.
kind of are my people, because there's certain things that everyone else is like, oh my God, that would be so weird. And you and me are like, yep, that's exactly what I do.
Yep, 100%
It's
on
a
board.
calculated move. So we're going to pull this all the way back to like, here was the big question that I wanted to ask. Is it still worth it?
Yes, 100%. Everything, because I told Eric, and I've been actually telling people this is where it actually came from. And I didn't tell people for a long time, but like, because I thought the word fat was going to be like, it's derogatory for me to use. But that's what happened. Like, I was 2 years out. Me and Eric were in Washington. We were driving by a casino, and I saw big people, and I could see the pain. Like you could, because we were going to a water park, and you could see the people that are just overweight, fucking mad as hell, sweaty, icky. I know that feeling. And in my head, I looked at Eric, and he goes, "What are you up to over there?" Like he knew the wheels were turning. And I was like, "I need to help fat people." And he's like, "What?" And I go, That's what I need to do. I need them to know that they don't always have to be fat, and that they can actually feel comfortable. And he's like, "Really?" And I go, "Yeah, I've been uncomfortable my whole life before surgery. And I know what it's like to have rashes. I know what it's like to have sweaty spots. I know what it's like to feel like you're the smelly one in the room because you're sweating so much." And I never thought I could be smaller than I was, because my whole families have been big. Everybody's like overweight, short and stocky. And I just assumed, I came to terms at 20 years old that that's what my life was going to be, until I was 27 and was decided that I don't want that life anymore.
I'm always curious about that because, like, in an age where, like, I think we've kind of finally broken the stigma of bariatric surgery, but GLP-1s are right there. And I always wonder the people who are so hell-bent against the GLP-1, like, were you ever fat, like, growing up? Like,
I know, right?
and but then I also get curious, like, does anyone actually want to be fat?
No,
Are we
I
sure
don't think so.
about that? Like, here's my thing. If anyone's listening to this to figure out if I killed a drifter in 2008, message us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Or report it to Mel and be like, no, it turns out he killed someone. But also, if there's anyone out there listening, or you know anyone who truly says, like, I want to be obese, I'd be curious to interview that person.
Me too.
I've spent my entire life struggling with my weight. It doesn't happen as often, but every now and then, like, I'll just freak out unreasonably thinking I'm getting fat.
Yep.
Like, I used to live decades of my life thinking that way, and I don't ever want to feel that way again. And I hope no one else, and I say this out of love, like, I hope no one else ever feels that way.
Yeah. It sucks. That fucking feeling sucks. Like, I didn't have any boyfriends going through high school, middle school. Like, I had two, but like, it wasn't like I went to homecoming with them or went to prom. I went to prom with Kelly both years, junior year and senior year. We have photos of us at prom. Like, it's adorable.
Here is the craziest part, is now prom has become such a different deal than when we were in, like, do you remember in prom, getting a prom date consumed probably 9 months, like, talk about planning JBY.
Yeah.
I had to start to think for a dance, who would physically want to go with me? Who then would be able to tolerate talking to me for 3 hours? And then who would I actually, of that group subset of people, would I actually want to spend 9 hours planning for and thinking? And then I have to hope that if I even ask that person, that they would even say yes.
Yeah, it's a lot, like, built up of all the things that we have, like, especially guys. It's got to be almost harder.
But here's where I say the other proof. My younger brother is probably the most attractive man to ever go through our high school. Will thought for no time on who he was taking to a prom. Like, because
he was just like, that's just...
He could steal dates of all upperclassmen. He took to the sophomore cotillion. He asked a senior who was, going to essentially, like, was with this guy for 2 years that I played football with. And he pretty much shot his shot. She said yes. And the guy was ready to kick his ass.
Sure.
And he was like, I'm going to beat your brother up. And I'm just like, yeah, you probably should, but I can't really get involved because I can't fight every time Will steals a girl.
I know. Sounds like he did it a lot.
But think about that. I spent 9 months thinking about just asking a question. My brother did it in 30 seconds. Why would anyone want to spend their life having to analyze and think every move of their life when they could fix it in a few simple things? And how do you keep that commitment to, I'm not going back to that?
I mean, that's a commitment to yourself, really, at that point. Like, you got to be fully in. Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of like, so kind of to answer more of your question, I don't feel done. So that's kind of the other part, is like the fire's still there because I don't feel complete. I don't feel like my job's done. I still see people come in this community confused, scared, alone, ashamed, embarrassed. And I know everything about how that feels. Nova's about to fall off the chair.
He's fine.
She's like, let me be behind you. Just let me be behind you.
Do you remember our first solo episode together? Nova got hit by a car.
Yeah. Isn't
Like-
that crazy?
Then he's still here. And we're still here. That's kind of crazy.
It's so cool. 4 years. She turned 4 on June 10th, too. So,
You've only had Nova that long?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So when she got hit, she wasn't even a year old yet.
I don't think I realized how much of your life was like brand new when I started listening to you. Like, it's
so brand new.
like we found that pattern 3 times through that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I noticed, because you sent me a bunch of questions offline, and it really got my brain thinking. And I noticed that every about 5-6 years. You okay back there? Yeah. Just like making a noise. I noticed I kind of revamp myself, change myself a little bit. I reinvent, as one of your words that I saw on there. I was like, oh, I do. Like, I totally do. Like, I was only, I was at Wells Fargo for 6, Progressive for 5, and then the Department of Revenue for 4. So you can see it's right around the 5-year mark is when Mel goes, I need to change something. I need to do something even more and more. And yeah, there's so much more to come with the podcast because I have so many ideas and I'm just not, I don't feel complete. So it's like, guys, I'm not going anywhere because this is who I am. Like, that was kind of the deal with, even with my partner, like, leaving me. It felt so rough because I feel like I am OSLP. Like, I literally feel like I live, breathe, and eat OSLP every single day. So when any shots come my way, even if it's just for OSLP, I take it personally because
Absolutely.
this is my baby. This is something I work really hard at every day. And it's just interesting that it's like, no, OSLP is not done evolving yet. Like, there's so much more to do. And now what's great is like, it is only me. What's cool about that is like, I have no gatekeeper anymore. Like, there's no one to tell me no to my crazy ideas. Like, cause I do have some wild ideas sometimes and they're not really expensive ideas. They're just out there. So it's like, I get to be silly. Like, that's what's cool now is you guys are going to get to see more of a raw, real Mel. Like, that's why I started Mel Unfiltered on Thursdays, because I realize if you don't listen to the podcast, you don't know who I am. Like, you don't know exactly who I am. But if you do listen, you're like, I can back this girl. But if you just watched me online, I don't know what the senses are when you watch me on OSLP or my own. I don't get that kind of feedback. 1, we love feedback, by the way. Give us the feedback. And then 2, like, it's just the fact of now I can be silly. And that's what I'm very excited about.
I think it's really awesome to kind of see how you have evolved and where you're going. And I'm really happy like both you and Kelly are finding different visions, but also going in your own directions in a way that brings you both happiness and peace.
Yes. And that's the biggest deal.
I think that's the most important thing. Like, I kind of want to wrap up because I don't even know. Like, again, we're going to do a 72-hour podcast together at some point. So we have to save some on the table.
Of course.
But we also show that none of the data shows anyone listens to my last part of the segment. So this is going to be fun. Have you listened to any of my episodes yet?
No.
Yeah, there we go, people.
Not going to lie.
Wow.
I have not. I have not.
Perfect.
But that means now I will. I can put it on while I clean and while I go on my walk.
Do you ever listen to yourself? Like, do you listen to your episodes? I don't either. Like, because I was there. I kind of know what was said.
And I edit it, so I really don't.
God, you have to listen to all of it. I don't even edit. I don't want to hear, like, I kind of like that this is just it. And then I like hit boop and then I put it in the ether. And it's true. It's like, this is what you get, guys. But
That's
anywho,
adorable.
we finish these with the busy method, which is what I coach my clients. So I'm going to rapid fire question you. And I just want your first takes. Your head's going to be on a swivel. Nova can join in if they need. B is for building habits. What's the best habit you built in your career?
Never giving up. Is that a habit?
It 100% is. You're not
Okay.
a quitter. I love it.
I don't quit. Yeah. I'm not a quitter by any means. Like, I will fight you before I quit. I'm going down with the ship.
I've seen it, people. She will fight.
I will fight. Don't you worry.
I've been around you enough to know that, and it's what I love about you, bud. The U is for understanding nutrition. How do you handle nutrition at your 10-year post-op?
I still only look at water and protein. I don't get in the mix of everything. I just do the top two.
As I work with clients longer, and this may make people freak out, I actually think that's the smarter way to do it.
I think so too, because it doesn't make your mind go crazy. And you're not like counting all the things.
Less is more sometimes. I think it's a great way to look at it.
Yes.
All right. So S is for staying active. Favorite way to move?
Really just walking, to be honest with you, just being outside. I'm a big gardener, so I'm outside a lot. I get my feet in the grass. Hence why I told you, have you put your foot in the grass yet? Because that really helps.
Guys, if you're listening to this recording, I actually talked to Mel last night, and I was in a bit of a funk. And the best advice and this is why, like, in your bariatric journey, you need to listen to people, but also you need to show up and be honest and real. And I flat out said to Mel, like, look, I'm not in the best headspace right now. And she told me to put your feet in the grass. And I did it this morning. I did a little bit of breath work. And I'm not going to say it cured everything, but I definitely felt better.
Right? It's just a little bit.
And I think people also have to understand that too, is like, putting your feet in the grass is not going to cure all your problems, but it does move you forward. And I think that's the best part of watching your 10-year journey, the evolution of the show and everything, is you're still just moving forward. So we're going to go on to the why, showing up for yourself. How do you do that these days?
I mean, I do it in different forms. I'm learning it's not the same stuff that it used to be. I show up for myself now just by like getting up and legit like just doing the things, like showing up for myself. It's like just making sure I actually take care of myself, which is the water in the morning, which is the protein later, which is the vitamins. Showing up for myself is hard because most of the time I just want to get to work and do the stuff, but you have to slow down. And that's what I've learned over the 10 years, guys. This is not something you learn right away. It takes time and patience. And once you get there, you'll feel a little more at ease because you realize, oh, I'm just taking care of myself. That's okay. Like, it's okay to not, like, yesterday I wanted to clean the kitchen first. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. You do the dishes and then you can go work. You don't have to work before you do the dishes. So
my best clients, the ones that I've coached to like lose hundreds of pounds and more importantly, keep it off. Take the timeline off.
Yeah, the timeline.
Stop thinking this is 3 months or this is your first year. It's how can I do this for life and maintain the results? And it's why so many clients, like, we have a package where it's very simply affordable because I don't have to teach you. You now have all the habits, patterns, behaviors. You have the methodology. You have the program. Now you just have to live it for the rest of your life. And it's really cool watching the back end, the people who understand the value of movement every day, having habits, showing up not as often as they had to in the beginning, but then also like guiding others through the process.
Yeah, and it's that timeline. Like, you're not wrong. It's literally throw away that goddamn timeline because you're making your own rules now and you can throw away a timeline. You can literally be like, yeah, this is just what I want to do tomorrow. Like, keep it simple, guys. It's really all about simplicity because I hate complicated things. Just keep it simple. And yeah, like, move, drink your water, do your protein. What did I tell Erin? I think I told her just have better good days and bad days.
Yeah.
You just balance it.
That's really all you have to do. Now you're like, okay, we spelt busy. There can't possibly another question, but there is. We have an exclamation point.
Ooh.
And it's for healthy sources of dopamine. What's yours? healthy source of dopamine. We've hung out enough together to know
To know, but I got some unhealthy ones.
We
but
all do. We all do.
Yeah. And I think we wouldn't be human if we didn't.
The ones who say they don't, I'm always worried, like, you must have one so ridiculously unhealthy that you're not willing to share.
Right? It's so unhinged that you're scared to share. Because most of us are like, yeah, I drink too much, or sometimes I smoke weed, or whatever, you know. But no, it's for me, it's actually music. Music is the best dopamine for me. Anytime it's on, I get a big smile on my face and I just start jumping around and dancing around. I did that yesterday. Okay, we're the same age group, so you'll know this song. I'm going to bring up MJK, like Michael Jackson, for a little bit. I love Michael Jackson. I know he's not the bestest.
You know, the toughest part of our age right now is so many songs that were monumental in our lives were done by people who are now considered like sex offenders. And that,
right?
It's really tough to like start bumping to something on my playlist. I'm like, oh wait, no, this is statutory rape. I have to like move it forward.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Guys, get it together. My goodness, because we love your talents. But it was They Don't Care About Us by Michael Jackson. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. So I was literally cutting my salad, and you're right, and I'm fucking going. I'm vibing. That song is like 7 minutes long. It's just amazing. And Dylan walks in, and he's like, what is this? And I was like, oh, hold on. This is Michael Jackson, bro. Like, this is like amazing time. And he's like, I never heard this. And I'm like, what? So now my mind was blown that I didn't show him this, but like music just gets me. Like, it's just like, I feel it, I move it. And I just was dancing with a knife in the kitchen. Like, it was ridiculous. Cause I'm like, yeah, they don't really care about it. Because I was also vibing the fact that like that song came out in the early 90s, right? Maybe late 80s. And it's still fucking relevant.
Yeah. Well, I think the best songs do.
Yeah. It's insane. I was just like and then Dirty Diana came on after, and I was like, oh my God, you're like throwing me through these cool loops of music. And then Dylan's just like, I don't really know Michael Jackson. And I forgot that he really doesn't, which is okay. You know, he doesn't need to know the king of pop, but he also goes, what made you go to that? And it's funny that you mention all the freaking people that suck right now for our music, because it was Kanye. Kanye made me go back because his song was We Don't Care. And then my brain went straight to Michael Jackson's song. But both of them, like, he's not a child molester, but he's fucking psycho.
He's insane. Like, yeah, but like,
he's insane.
It's man, I miss old Kanye. Like I miss just like when he could just be a musician, because like those songs came out in college and that was like a special, like the new Kanye album would drop in the summer and you would go out and it'd be on the radio and people listened to the radio back then. And you know, like it's wow.
But that's like, actually all I will listen to from Kanye is those first two albums.
Yeah, it's the good stuff.
And then I don't listen to anything else. And then now I really can't listen to Diddy. Like, I tried, it came on and like just through my mix because I like Hold Me Down, and I was like, turn it.
It's weird so many times. I'm like, I like there's the Busta Rhymes Diddy song, Pass the Gvassier. Is like it was just a perfect song like in college. And I'm like listening to this, I'm like, oh wait, no, this now has to come off the list. And that
one's the real one. Like, I'll still listen to Michael Jackson. There's only one song from R. Kelly I'll listen to, and that's Ignition, because of course it's Ignition. And then Kanye, the first two albums. But I can't listen to any Diddy. It gets me angry. I get disgusted. I'm like, oh.
It's a weird time that we're at.
The strangest time ever.
I always worry what happens with this stuff, but we're going to end on a more positive note.
Yeah. Sorry about Diddy.
This is the beauty, and like all the data shows, nobody's going to listen to this.
That's right.
So it's a good place to go with it. But I really want to end the episode, and I had it written. So I write some of these ahead of time, people. But, you know, you've meant a lot to me. Busy Bariatrics, this whole thing really wouldn't have came if you and Kelly didn't just say like, hey, thank you. You should probably come to Portland.
Yeah.
And you created like a shift in someone's life in the best way possible. And I am so happy to have you in my life as a sister. I love you and all that you have done for me. And I did want to end on giving you your flowers of that. So,
thank you, Rob. That means so much to me. You don't even know.
I think I do. I think it's a good enough relationship that we both know the importance of it. So, now for the written stuff, people. If this one hit, or if you think that me and Mel have these horrible takes on things and you want to argue, or you want to apply to be on the 72-hour podcast, don't just nod along. Go DM Mel and tell her that her voice is meant in your life. This woman's carried more than you know. We didn't even get to any of the questions because that's kind of how this works. But I feel like we covered the big parts. But go bag this episode and share it. Who knows? Maybe I'll get my 4th listener on. But anyway, just remember, people, keep doing the work no matter if people listen or not, because eventually the results come through, and keep getting busy. Bye, Mel.
Bye.